When you go into martial arts, did that shape your personality?
It just made me grateful. Because when I was an angry kid, I ended up turning into a bully because of stuff that I learned around me.
Right, okay.
So getting into that gym actually helped me a lot because, I was going down a bad path, especially hanging out with wrong people at school.
Yeah.
I didn't finish school. I ended up getting kicked out of school, So from then on, when I was taking fighting more seriously, it shaped me into a more humble person, Fighting has taught me how to have manners, how to be really nice. Especially my mom, she always tells me every day, don't let the fighting get to you. No matter if you're a world champion, you're the best at this and that, always be humble no matter what, At the end of the day, you're still flesh and blood like everyone else, So yeah, definitely fighting has been a big impact on, making me more down to earth and more happy for what I have in life.
Welcome to the Melding Muse podcast. Melding art and design, entrepreneurship, music, fashion, film, sports, gaming, and whatever's in between. We exist to showcase extraordinary people to inspire the next generation of creatives and leaders. My guest today is Alejandro Guerrero Tellez, son, Muay Thai champion, and MMA fighter, training out of City Kickboxing, Auckland. We talked about his early life coming from Colombia to New Zealand as a refugee. We discussed training for MMA, the impact of martial arts to his personal life, as well as the importance of dealing with adversity. We cover connecting with his roots and a lot more. If you love martial arts as much as I do, this episode is for you. Alejandro Tellez, welcome to Melding Muse podcast. How you doing, my bro?
I'm doing good. How about you? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, bro, I'm fucking good. I'm excited. You're the first fighter I have in the podcast, and I've been looking forward to talking to a fighter for a while. As soon as you accepted my invitation to be here, I was like, this is the perfect first person to have in the podcast as a fighter. Knowing that you're Colombian, so fucking awesome to have you here, bro.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I've always been wanting to go on a podcast there. Like, I always see the Joe Rogan podcast, so I just think it's interesting,
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, that's all good. Dude, there's so many things I want to talk to you about. So I think the best way to start this is with your background, because again, for me, it's interesting how a Colombian guy, I discovered this here. I told you just before we started the podcast, right? The way I heard about you is because I love mixed martial arts. I love Muay Thai, kickboxing. And I went to a King in the Ring event and I see these two women come in and drop a giant Colombian flag in the stands. And I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? Why is that Colombian flag in here? Next minute, you walk out with a sombrero on and I go, holy shit, there's a Colombian dude here. And I don't know what you think, but that was a crazy good night for you, man. Like, I mean, you had a great run, great knockout, really tough, but really good last fight against Nicola.
Yeah, Nicola,
so that was a fucking awesome. And since that moment on, I started following you. And here we are. So let's start with the beginning. Colombia. Yeah.
Colombia.
How old were you when you came here? Tell me all that story. I want to hear about it.
I came here when I was 4.5 with just my mother. We came here as refugees because back then some really bad stuff was happening, including my mom and my dad. My dad was just like he was a psycho. So someone seen that all the bruises and stuff on my mom's face, and as young, I was like a bit traumatized. So they gave my mom a chance to go to 2 different countries. We meant to go to this other country. I forgot what it was called, but we ended up getting taken to New Zealand last second. So yeah, last second I would have been in another country, but I'm in New Zealand, thanks to God. But I came here and with my mom and I grew up in Hamilton. That's where I first where I started training and this and that. I remember.
Do you remember? But you came here 4.5 years old, so you probably don't remember anything about Colombia. Have you been back?
I've been back twice.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been back twice.
What was that like?
It was kind of buzzy, because I'll go back and I'm just like, oh, okay. It's a pretty humbling experience because like New Zealand have a great, because where I'm from is Swatcha. Like it's not it's not really a nice place. Oh yeah, what's it called? Yeah, I grew up in this school called St. Columbus. I remember why I started the fighting is because I got bullied a lot growing up because the way I looked, where I was from, the stuff that I ate. So like, Colombian food, like to me, Colombian food is so nice, but I got bullied for that.
What?
Yeah.
Really? So people bully you at school for just for looking like where you look because of the food that you took at school?
Yeah.
Shit.
They'll bully me for everything and I remember I'll go to school and I'll chuck my food in the rubbish bin and I'll starve myself the whole day.
But, shit, really?
Yeah. But as the years grew past, I grew up to be why do I have to like listen to what they say to me, you know? But what's it called? And they even carried on in high school as well. And I always got into like a lot of fights. I was known as that angry little kid, you know? But I reckon around year 10, that's when I like first probably started taking fighting seriously.
Okay.
And because, I don't know, I always get picked up in school because they call me a Mexican. They always like make
classic,
jokes,
bro. Yeah, classic. Yeah.
The classic ones, and I'm like, oh, okay. That was just mostly the homies, but other than that, other people, just keep picking on me, like saying just like some racist ass stuff. But that just made me put my foot down and be like, okay, I'm gonna get into a gym. And lucky enough, the people at TMT, it's my old gym, City Kickboxing Muay Thai. I knew the trainer since I was like first came to New Zealand, so when I was 4.5, so it made sense.
Oh, okay.
But I originally started doing MMA when I was like, I think it was like what, like 9 years old.
Oh shit.
But I did it for 2 weeks, and because what's it called, my mom put me in there, and I remember one day I did jiu-jitsu, and someone had to go on top of me, so I thought it was gay. So I told my mom I don't want to be in it. So she took me out. But then what's it called? And then I ended up doing karate and what's it called? And my primary intermediate. I did that for like a good couple months, but then what's it called? One of my coach, she didn't really take it seriously for us. So I got bored of it because we just every day after school we just punched paper. So I was just like, oh, this is boring.
Oh yeah. How old are you at this time?
I think I was like 8.
8 years old.
8.
Holy shit. Okay, that's pretty young.
Just wanted the karate, yeah.
And your mom was the one that took you, like basically introduced you to martial arts?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, that's cool.
Definitely. Yeah, because my mom likes fighting as well. She's a fighter as well. So like she just seen that what's it called? I get into trouble a lot. So
okay,
she was like, okay, and I need to put my son into something because I don't like rugby. I don't like soccer.
Okay.
Because I've tried those sports out there. She was like, okay, I'm gonna put my son into something so like more physical. See if he likes it. And I ended up liking it.
Oh, I see. And then so you moved from. You didn't like karate because you just fucking punching like wood or whatever. Yeah. So then what happens? You take Muay Thai?
Yeah. I did Muay Thai. I started Muay Thai when I was like 11 or 12, and I did it for like I did it for a while, but then I stopped.
Okay. Why is that?
I don't know. I got bored of it, and I don't know. I was just like concentrated. That's when I was really like into football. So I was like doing my football, my training and that. But then I got bored of it, and I was like, man, I really want to like get back into it. So I probably started around close to 12. Like I was close to turning 13. So that's when I first probably started like taking it seriously, and I had my first fight at 13.
You had your first fight at 13?
Yeah, I had my first fight at 13.
How was that? What was that experience like, the first fight? Were you looking forward to it? Were you nervous? What was that like?
Man, I mean, I was nervous as I was scared like I was just gonna get knocked out at it. Like
yeah.
Because like back then I had no technique.
Yeah. And is this like, what kind of rules were you fighting under?
Just normal kickboxing. There was
kickboxing
no
rules, no elbows or knees. Yeah.
Just no, there was knees.
There was knees.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember in the first round, I think I needed him like 3-4 times in the balls, and I got told off of that. So I acted like I got hit in the balls too, but I didn't. So I wouldn't get told.
Did you wear a cap at that time? Or
yeah,
not?
I wore a cap.
You wore a cap.
Time.
Okay. Yeah.
That was a good fight. He hasn't fought ever since then, but he was a pretty good fighter. But yeah, that was a pretty good, memorable fight. That was my first one.
First fight at 13 years old.
Yeah, 13 years old. Okay. That was like I turned 13 the day before.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
And then from then on, what happened? Like you decided, look, this is fucking awesome. I love it. What was that like? What was that stepping up in the ring? Because I've never done it, right? Like I love martial arts. I trained, but I've never experienced anything close. What was that like?
I mean, bro, it's mixed emotions, because like you'll be nervous and your anxiety kicks in. Well, for me it does.
Yeah.
And I'll just be breathing heavily.
Yeah.
I mean when I first went up. But the thing is when you go in the ring, when I first went in the ring, I like stepped in and I looked around me and I couldn't see the audience. Everything was black.
Yeah.
I could only see me and the referee and my opponent. But I felt like the adrenaline kicked in a lot.
Yeah.
So it made me forget about everything. But once like, you tap gloves, like if you feel good, you feel like, oh shit, I'm doing this now,
Yeah.
But it's definitely like you get pretty like oh, I'm gonna shoot myself,
Yeah.
But you get used to it over time.
I guess, yeah. Fuck, dude. And then okay, what happens? So you take this fight, you win it. What happens next?
I had my second fight. I got a hiding. Like I got a hiding.
Like a real hiding.
I got a real hiding. Like
who were you fighting?
Oh, I forgot his name, but it was this tall white guy.
Was he a lot older than you? What?
I think he was like 2 years older than me, a year older than
By
me.
the way, let me ask you this: how did you assess who you're gonna fight, or were you just fucking taking anything?
Were
Did you have somebody going, yeah, you should take this fight? Because you were like what, 14 years old, 13 years old, or whatever.
13, 14, yeah.
Were somebody like I said, like telling you, hey, you should not take this fight. This guy's way more experienced than you. Maybe like pause it for a bit, or you just going by instinct?
My coach just set it up. We just set me up with someone similar experience to me.
Ah, okay, I see.
So that's about it. We had the similar record.
Like I see. Okay, 1-1. Yeah. Okay, I see.
Yeah, that was about it. Yeah, but
and you go a real hiding on that.
Yeah, I got a hiding because that's when I didn't really know how to train properly. I didn't really like train to my full potential. I didn't even run. So in the first round I did really good, but then I gassed out.
You gassed. Okay.
So then I got a hiding in the last 2 rounds and I lost.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah,
and what was that like? Like, did you feel like demotivated or anything like that when you lost that fight?
I mean, I felt really shit because that was the first my second fight. That was the first time I ever broke the Colombian flag out in my whole career.
Okay.
And I just felt embarrassed because I put on a show and like I brought the flag out and I got a hiding, but I don't know, that from that fight on, it made me be like, nah, like I want to like train harder. I want to actually take this seriously because I love it, and I don't want to like lose again like that, especially for my second fight because I got hiding. So it made me more motivated to train harder.
So it motivated you to train harder. That's awesome, bro. That's the way fucking to look at it, really. Yeah. What happened then from there?
From then on there, like that's when like I decided to actually take my fighting seriously. And I remember I had I don't remember my third fight at all. I actually don't remember, but I know as the time went by, I just keep getting more and more fights. I started, learning, watching YouTube videos, listening to my coach, showing up every day. Sometimes even, training 2-3 times a day.
Yep. And at this time, you're concentrating mainly on Muay Thai, is it?
Mainly on what's it called? Oh, it's because I left like a year ago. I left TMT to go to City Kickboxing to transfer to MMA.
Oh, okay.
Because I love Muay Thai, but like you gotta look at the side of things, like because I don't know, I've always loved Muay Thai, but I feel like MMA is a good way to go.
Yeah, bro. I mean, if you want to make it to like professional, right? Yeah. Muay Thai is probably not gonna get you there. Like Muay Thai is awesome, right? If you go to Thailand, fucking fights are amazing, but if you want to make it as a fighter, you need to step into mixed martial arts, right?
Yeah.
But I'm talking like at that time, you just concentrated on Muay Thai at that point.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
100%. Yeah, I was concentrating on Muay Thai. Okay. I loved everything about it because we went to Thailand for these world championships.
I was gonna ask you about that because I've seen some of your older fights, and you even did the ritual, the whole Thai dance and all that. And I was like, wait a minute, you probably train in Thailand, right?
Yeah, bro, it was beautiful.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to go to another country like that. Bro,
Thailand is the shit, isn't it?
That was the shit. I loved it. Yeah. Not the weather though, but I got used to it. But the fighting.
Well, the weather is awesome. It's like Colombia, dude. It's like fucking. Yeah, I reckon. I went to Thailand and I never did I got one of my friends that played in the band with me. He used to go and train in Thailand. Oh. And he invited us a couple of times, but at that time I was broke as fuck. So I was I don't have any money to go to Thailand. But after that I went. And in one of our trips to go up to a I don't remember, just to see a Buddha or whatever. Bro, there was like a Muay Thai gym, and I remember seeing that. And the people that were training, they were like literally running up the mountain, coming down. And I was like, fuck, man, that would be such a cool experience to come here and train here for a while. That's such a interesting thing.
What place in Thailand was that?
I think that was in Phuket.
Phuket. Oh yeah. Phuket's a place to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful down there.
Yeah, so how was that experience like?
I mean, it was beautiful because down there you got a hiding. I got a hiding from the little kids as well.
Yeah.
Those guys are full on,
Full on, dude. And they have like a kid that is like 12 years old or whatever. He's like 10 fights already under his belt or something. It's like,
bro, yeah. Those kids are crazy. Even in clinch, I'll be much bigger than them. They'll be throwing me around. I'm nothing. I'm just
yeah.
They're a different breed down there.
Yeah. And then okay, so you go back to Thailand. You go to Thailand. You train there. You decide to take this thing seriously.
Yeah.
You take how many fights? Like how many fights after? Because I remember, like I mentioned to you, I saw you a king in the ring.
Yeah.
You look like a really well prepared fucking guy at that time. How many years prior to that fight, and how did that fight actually happen?
How did that fight actually happen? What's it called? It took me a while to get good. I remember growing up, I seen Nico and Dominic fight heaps on King of the Ring, and I think it was like years ago. I was like, one day I'm going to be on King of the Ring. And I told my mom, I'm going to be on King of the Ring one day. And what's it called? I was in Colombia. No, funny enough, I was in Colombia and I got offered the fight because I was training down there. And my coach was like,
But what made you go down there to train?
"Oh, nah, because we had to go visit family because
okay, I
my
see.
grandpa was sick, so we had to go down." Yeah. And what's it called? We were like, I was still on holiday. Went to this random ass place in Colombia, and what's it called? My coach messaged me. He was like, "Hey, like, you want to fight in King of the Ring?" And I'm just like, "Oh yeah, of course I want to fight in King of the Ring." He was like, "Okay, you got to start training like seriously now." But it was hard.
Oh shit!
I couldn't train properly because.
So you're in Colombia and you get the call to fight in King in the Ring.
Yeah.
And how long in advance was that?
It was like 5-6 weeks. Like a month.
So you have a month to prepare for King in the Ring.
To prepare, something like that. Yeah, because I only went there for 3 months. Yeah.
Shit, dude.
Yeah, something like that. But I couldn't train properly because where I was from was too dangerous.
Was there actually any good gyms in there? I mean, I came here when I was 16, so for me as well, I have no knowledge of any gyms or anything like that of that sort in Colombia. Like I know they have like Taekwondo and karate gyms, but Muay Thai gyms or MMA gyms, is that easy to come across or no?
When I was there was heaps of gyms.
Okay.
But what's it called? One of my cousins, she told me that this is one gym that I should go to.
Okay.
And this guy that knew me, he was one of my good mates in Colombia. He brought me in. He showed me around.
Okay.
And it was a pretty good gym. They were like pretty full on. And you know how Colombia's in like high altitude?
Yeah.
So it's like
fuck
harder.
yeah, bro. Yeah. Especially if you're in Bogota. Holy shit.
Bro, I almost vomited on the first training session.
Oh, bro, I bet. I play football. So that's my sort of the thing I play the most. Dude, I can't play a full game in Bogota. It's just, especially I have asthma as well.
Oh, okay.
So whenever you go down to the altitude, so you can think about how, when there's like cards in Mexico and that, right? Like UFC cards in Mexico and these type of places, you have to move down there like weeks before the fight just to adapt to the altitude because otherwise you're going to gas really quick. Yeah. What was that experience like?
Fuck. Oh, it was hard. That was like, I was like, damn, have I really gotten that on foot? But like it was a cool experience though because it made me push harder. I'm like, damn, I'm like all the way in New Zealand, below altitude, still training hard, and these guys over here like training their asses. They even like running up mountains.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I couldn't keep up with them, but I got used to it. But what's good? Yeah, I got used to it. There was one of the kids that was actually pretty good. His name was Juan. He was one of my mates down there. He had like 2 titles. And he was like, what's it called? He's fought in Brazil. I think it was like Peru. He's fought around Colombia. He was a promising young kid.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So like, he's showing me around. He's looking after me. He's the one who gave me the scales so I can weigh myself. Because down there, I don't know, the scales are weird. So they weren't the same as New Zealand. So I feel like I was like way heavier than I was for my weight. Yeah. So I was like kind of like scared.
I see.
Yeah.
Do you think about, should I take a fight over here or?
Oh, I was going to, but I wasn't at the gym long enough.
Okay,
They were setting me up with this freaking 3 times world champion taekwondo fighter, but I had to decline it because I was already matched with King of the Ring, and I was like, nah, I can't fight that. I'll get a hiding. I was like unfit as.
Okay, cool. So you're in Colombia, you get this King of the Ring call. Yeah. You prepare how did you prepare for that?
How did I prepare? I was mostly running.
So conditioning, where you're like focusing on, I just don't want to gas out.
Yeah, I just don't want to gas out because I knew, it's 3 fights in one night. I don't want to like, gas out.
Oh yeah, by the way, for people listening who have no idea what King in the Ring is, though, this fucking crazy that format. You fight crazy. How many times in a day in the whole night? Like 3 times, 4 times?
You fight 3 times in one night.
3 times, and sometimes you go, and this is 3 rounds, and sometimes like the last King in the Ring went for 4 rounds in the last one. That's fucking crazy. And sometimes the first fight is a fucking bloodbath. And then you have to go rest, wait for how long? Like 2 or more fights. And you come out again, you fight again. I have no idea how you guys do that shit, dude. Because I just think cooling down, like when you're in the ring, right? And then I'm guessing here, but when you're in the ring, adrenaline kicks in. You're going in there, you're getting fucking, your legs kick hard. Once you get off the ring, your body cools down. You start to feel the fucking pain.
Yeah, you start to feel the pain.
You start to feel the pain. And then you have to fucking go and do it again.
Yeah.
And then you do it again. And then you have to do it that 3 times. Crazy. I think that's just fuck, the respect for anybody who fights in King in the Ring is just unbelievable. I never seen anything like that until I saw that. So the preparation for that must be preposterous.
Yeah, it was pretty full on. What's it called? I think when I went back to Hamilton, my coach, he did this thing where like I train like 3 times a day, but like what's it called? It'll be like timed, so I don't like overwork myself.
Okay.
So I get used to the, you know, fighting here, like fighting that one fight and then fighting the second fight and fighting the third night. So that's why.
Were you sparring at that time? Like when you're doing those 3 sessions, were you actually sparring or were you just hitting the pads?
I don't really remember, but we're just hitting pads. But because we just sparred, I think it was like every Friday. We sparred every Friday,
okay.
so that was just the only time we sparred.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we sparred sometimes on Wednesdays as well if you're matched for a fight. But yeah, that was ages ago, so I don't really remember that much. But that's how we just train 3 times a day.
Damn.
Something like that, yeah.
Do you do like hard sparring or just soft sparring?
My old gym, we used to do hard sparring on every Saturday, but we stopped. So we just did normal controlled sparring, but like just technical sparring, but like non-stop. So like we did this thing like, I forgot what it's called, but like someone goes in the middle, and then there's gonna be whoever's like, you know, some of the fighters are there. You all go in the ring. Someone's in the middle, and someone goes in for 30 seconds, and then that one goes out. The person still stays in the middle, and the other person goes in for 30 seconds, and et cetera, until everyone's finished. So you're just there fighting for your life, really
Jesus.
tired. Yeah, it was ruthless, but it was mean.
That's awesome. Fuck, dude. Talk to me about conditioning, because you mentioned that you were wanting to focus on conditioning. Was that because, so first part is I want to ask you is, was that because you knew you had all the elements, you know, the technique, the kicks, the elbows, the everything, and you just wanted to focus on, I don't want to gast.
Yeah.
What was that conditioning, training for that conditioning? What was that like? What exactly did you do?
I mean, I ran 3 times a week, and there'll be like 5 or 6 Ks. And,
Okay.
So the first,
And this is running like on the streets, like out
running
there.
on the streets.
Right,
yeah.
right. Okay.
The first one will be like 5K. Second will be 6K. And then the last one will be 8K. So that's how much I did sometimes. But some weeks I wouldn't do it because my legs would be too tired. But I'll try to do it. Or I'll just try to, you know, I'll do 3K or 4K, and then I'll do a big run. So like I say, like 7, 8K.
I see.
Yeah.
And this is on top of your normal hitting the pads, going in the gym and doing the food drills that you do every day.
Yeah, this is normal, yeah.
Do you see a huge improvement in terms of after you did that in your conditioning?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah?
I felt fat as I was like, oh shit, like I feel this is like the fittest I've ever been.
Okay.
You know, it's not the fittest I wanted to be, but I was fit.
Okay.
Like I was fit just running, you know, especially up the hills and that.
Nice.
Yeah.
How about weight cutting? What do you walk around at?
I walk around like 69 to 70.
And you fight at?
62.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, 62 or 63.
So how's that weight cut?
I mean, it's not nice because I always leave it to last.
You leave it to the last minute?
Yeah, I always leave it to the last minute.
Shit.
But recently, because of my last fight, I had to cut like 8-9 kgs.
Oh shit.
And I'm also short on this fight.
In a period of what?
2-3 weeks.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
What is that like?
It's not nice.
For people who are listening to this who have no fucking idea, because I know what it takes to fucking lose that weight, but I know it's not pretty. What is that? If you could explain that, like.
What's it called? Well, me, sometimes I'm dumb. I get like little snacks in between, so I don't really follow the diet plan. But towards the last week, I actually followed the diet plan, and I was being strict, even though I was like really like, oh, I'm hungry, I want to eat this. Yeah. But, you know, it's because it's all in your mind. You know, you gotta be strong, you gotta be disciplined. So that last week was really like, it was pretty ruthless for me too, because I had to go in the sauna like really hungry, and I had to lose 3 kgs in the sauna.
Yeah.
And if any fighters know, being in the sauna for 3 hours, like that's not nice. Like,
yeah, bro, that's fucking brutal,
mentally draining. Like
Yeah.
I was like to the point where I was just like, you know, like I'm questioning my life. Like, what am I doing? You know, but like it all made sense at the end when I got to eat. But like just cutting that weight, especially like if you're dumb like me and leave it to last, like it's.
Why do you leave it to last?
I don't know. Like I love food. Like I love food, and at the same time, like I want to eat like a good amount of food so I can train at like maximum like capacity.
What do your trainers tell you? Like, because they surely have sort of like a plan to maybe do it. I don't know, gradually. I don't know. I mean, you tell me. Like, do they tell you, hey, look, you should actually
Yeah.
Fucking, you not wait until last minute. Rather, you should just do it this way, or how does that work?
Nah, they tell me. They give me plans.
Okay, but you just don't follow them.
Yeah, I follow them. But what's it called? I think sometimes I serve a bit too much.
Okay.
But in the end, I try and I do it, and I end up making weight.
Okay. Have you ever missed weight?
My last fight, I missed weight, but I think it was like 100 grams.
Oh, okay.
Like I was when I weighed in at the sauna, I was actually like under, but then like I think it was like because I had a tiny bit of water, and then what's it called? My weight went up, so then I was 100 grams over, and I was like fuck. But I think that they let it they didn't let it slide. So my original opponent pulled up over the 100 grams.
I was gonna ask you about that because your opponent pulled out, and then you like not gonna fight, and then suddenly somebody steps up. But we talk about that in a minute about your last fight because I know that went pretty gnarly for you in terms of like you got a huge cut under your eye, didn't you? Yeah. Okay, but let's go back because I want to break it down for you. Some preparation. You get your conditioning right. You get your weight cut right. I want to ask you two things. First, mental preparation. And the second part of the question is the opponent. For example, you're gonna fight. For everybody listening right now, you're fighting Art of War 23 against Dominic Reed.
Yeah.
Pretty soon. When is that? 12th of I go here. 12th of July.
Yeah, like 3 weeks.
In 3 weeks.
Yeah.
By the way, it looks like a fucking awesome show. So everybody listening to this, get your tickets, artofwar.co.nz/shows. So you're gonna fight Dominic Reed. Do you study this opponent? Like, do you actually go there with your trainers and go, okay, you know, I was watching his fights, for example, because I wanted to talk to you about it. Do you watch his fights? You watch his tapes? You see, analyze what's going on, get a game plan, all of that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I grew up watching him a lot.
Oh yeah, because
So, like,
he's been around forever. He's quite experienced, isn't he? He's got 2 times with fought 2 times with Nicola. Yeah. What was that like? Studying him. Like, what is the process of studying an opponent?
Process of studying. Mostly I'll just on YouTube because all those fights on YouTube or on CSN. I'll just sit down. I'll look at him fight. I'll see what he fails at doing.
Okay.
And like, if his hands are down, like every time he throws this punch or this kick, his hand goes down, or like he doesn't use his footwork properly, stuff like that. I'll keep it in mind, and I'll just try like perfect the stuffs that I'm not good at. Because I know sometimes like I know for a fact that someone will be studying me, like my opponent will be studying me.
Yeah.
So I'll just try like his hands are like down every time he throws that jab. I'm gonna throw a 1-2 or a hook,
Yeah.
stuff like that. I just sit down for maybe 30 minutes or 20 minutes on YouTube, and I'll just watch him and I'll watch him and I'll watch him and I'll just get it in my head and make a little simulation of me fighting him in the ring. That's how I do it.
All right. Okay. I was going to ask you about that. If there is any visualization of how that fight is going to play out. So you're seeing him and you go, okay, he's probably going to do this, and here's how I'm going to respond to this.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. Like, because I've grew up watching him heaps, so like I know what type of fighter he is. He's a pretty forward, aggressive fighter. He has got a big tank.
He keeps his hands really close, and he closes the distance really. That's what I noticed. He really closes the distance really well. But yeah, it seems like a dangerous opponent. When I looked at his fights, I was like, holy shit, it's going to be a fucking awesome fight.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome fight.
Yeah.
It's going to be a war.
Yeah. What do you think is your biggest weapon against him?
My biggest weapon? I have a lot of power. Like, I still have like so much like stuff within me that I haven't really shown to, people.
Okay.
But also I'll say I'm pretty smart. But my biggest weapon would be like what's it called? My heart. I've really strong heart.
We don't have that many Latin Americans representing like in mixed martial arts, right?
Yeah.
But one thing that's undeniable is all the ones that are representing out there. Holy shit! One of the things you can highlight is the heart.
Yeah.
Like Chito Vera, for example.
Yeah.
Right.
Vera,
Holy shit, dude! That motherfucker can get knocked down. Like that's pure heart. Just keeping. Just fighting until the last, whatever happens, until the fucking wheels come off. You think that's one thing that immigrant mentality, that background of that.
Yeah. You
think that is a tool that you use?
Now, 100%. I feel like Colombians just have that, that strength, that just I want to like go hard.
Yeah.
like just like not give up, just to like I don't
give
care.
up. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going, you know.
Yeah. You said your power. You trust your power, but you haven't shown it.
Yeah, I've shown it a little bit, but yeah.
What do you think is stopping you from showing that? Is that something that just hasn't worked out in a fight? You haven't been able to show it, or
what's it called? It's because in my last gym, you know, I just train how to fight. You know, how to be technical, how to be smart. You know, how to go in and not get hit. But what's it called? Because now I'm at CKB. I've been doing some trainings with Mike, and then he's just been, you know, teaching me like just making my skills go better.
Yeah.
You know, like how to like. There's just some things I do when I fight that makes me get hit. You know, so
I see.
So he's just like fixing those things up for me. So that's what we've been like doing for the last couple of weeks. Just, you know, just fixing my imperfections and going in, just, you know, just being smart. You know, just being smart, just hitting them without them hitting you. You know, make them go into your traps. That's what I'm doing. Because I got power, you know, like, you know, people have seen my power, you know, especially my 1-2s, my overhands, my leg kicks, you know.
Your kicks. Your kicks are crazy fast and like surprisingly accurate. Like when I saw you fight, one of the things I realized is like, holy shit, this kid's got a lot of power. Boom, you knocked out some guy on that King in the Ring fight.
I was one of my homies, Alex Sorensen.
And then you also dropped Nikra in the first round on that final. I think it was the same kick, wasn't it? Wasn't it the same kick? Wasn't it the same kick? Or was it a knee? I can't remember.
It was a 1-2.
It was that's right. That was 1-2. Yeah, you're right. It was a 1-2. But one thing I said was like, fuck, man. Because Nicola doesn't go down. Like that dude,
bro,
it doesn't go down. Like you see his fights. He's a tough motherfucker.
He's different.
He's different. Bro. He's so good. The fact that he went down, holy shit, I was like, oh, dude. I was in my feet. I'm like, holy shit. So what do you think you've done now? Like, because I'm guessing you want to showcase that power.
Yeah.
Like make it a statement. I'm guessing that you want to sharpen all these things so you can set up those traps.
Yeah.
To make that power count. Right? The thing I'm thinking right now is like Potan, you know, like Alex Pereira. That motherfucker is so clever because he carries so much power, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that he does is he set up these traps, you know, and he just fucking, oh my God, the power that guy.
That left hook.
Dude.
Fuck.
That's why people don't realize like the fact that Easy smoked him is so huge because he's so dangerous. Like that guy is so
definitely he's dangerous. Izzy was smart in that fight. He was actually really smart in that. Just luring him in and just waiting for a moment. Just
back. Yeah. That's beautiful. Right. yeah. So are you sort of working on that? Like, are you working on how to set up those traps, how to read your opponent so you can showcase that power? Is that sort of
Definitely. I'm just learning how to not be dumb because I don't use my brain that much when I go into a fight. Like, because, you know, once you get into like, you know, the pro leagues, you're not just there to fight, you know, it's a chess game. You know how Mike Tyson said, you know,
that's right.
Tough guy's going to get hurt. You know, you got to be smart. You got to move. You got to do the right move so they can fall into a trap and you can finally take the king out, you know.
You also do I'm guessing a game plan before the fight, like 100%. With your coaches, and you go, look, let's do this. Let's start with this. Is that something that you do for every fight or?
Yeah, for some of my fights, we've done game plans. For some of them, nah. We just go in there, just see what he's got and then, you know. But for this fight, we're definitely setting up a game plan because, you know, he's not just a fighter. Like, he's like a good fighter. So we're definitely cooking up something for this guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice. Dude, let me ask you this because I've always been super curious when I see fighters like, I mean, Izzy's a good example because he's a fucking technician. Yeah. But when I see, I'm a designer, right? I'm a designer, musician. Okay. So I love creativity and creative process. And one of the things I love about fighting as well is that I see when you go inside the ring, when I've been sparring, when I've sparred, I looked at it the same way, like a creative process. I looked at it as I'm going to give you something and you're going to give me something back and I'm going to go back and forth. And then I'm going to read what you're giving me and I'm going to execute what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's almost like it's this thing where you jump in there, you're in this flow state when you're reading, you're setting up, you're reacting. How does that sort of work out for you when you step in the ring? How does your mind work? And let me be like a little bit more clear about like, let's say that we're sitting right here, right?
Yeah.
And you throw a jab to the body, for example.
Yeah.
You see how that reacts. How is your brain thinking, okay, I'm going to do this next, or I'm going to do this next, or you know what I mean? How do you prepare for the next?
For it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next, I know this happens in milliseconds, but like, how do you know what's going to happen next? What are you going to throw in next? When are you going to jump in with a flying knee? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, when you train, right, you train for certain things, you train for, he's going to throw that too. So we just do all that at training. So it comes naturally,
It comes naturally to you.
It comes naturally to me. But sometimes it doesn't, because some guys, are fast or they just have too much power. What's it called? So like, what's it called? In some of my fights, I've seen some guys with some hard kicks or kick me hard. I'm like, okay, I don't want to get hit by that kick. I have to try like find a way to disrupt his movement so I can come back with that. Or like, cause some people try to set me up with what's it called? With body jabs and that. Be like, okay, this guy's trying to set me up or something because he keeps hitting my body and he's gonna go up high. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna time it, wait for it. Oh, he went up high. Okay, now I know what he's trying to do, So that's how I see it. I just flow and I just wait for something to happen, and then I just go off that. I'm like, okay, he's gonna come in with this. I'm gonna counter with this hook or this kick. That's how I think about it. But mostly just going off of what they throw.
Do things happening spontaneously? I saw this fight that you had. I don't know what promotion was that, but you threw a spinning kick.
Yeah.
That was straight to the liver. You just dropped this guy down hard. And it seems so spontaneous. I don't know what fight that was, to be honest. I can't remember. But it was just a spinning kick. Boom. Right to the liver. The guy goes down. I think you won the fight right away.
Oh, this fight. Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Like a kick like that. That like when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it didn't came out of nowhere. You probably have read that kick prior, right? How did that, something like that, for people who are not into fighting, or that are interested in fighting, how does that happen in your head?
Leading up to that fight, I was practicing my spinning back kicks. And I remember I seen one of my friends, Connor Wilson. He threw a spinning back kick one of his fights and he just, destroyed the guy. So I was like, okay, I want to do this in my next fight. And I remember in that first round, I was just, seeing what he had. I threw a left hook to his guard and I seen his body shift. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to throw another hook. So I threw that second hook and he blocked it. Okay, now I'm going to fake that last hook and come in with a spinning back kick. So I threw that last hook. He went to go block it, and then his body was wide open. So then I followed up with the spinning back kick, and he just went straight down.
Yeah, bro, that was a beautiful kick. That was perfect kick, straight down. Yeah. Fuck. Do you do many spinning attacks? Because every time I see spinning attacks, I'm like, I never would try anything like that. Because it's you have to be super accurate, otherwise, especially in MMA, you end up in a fucking horrible position. Otherwise, you have to be very accurate. Do you now that you're looking into MMA, and let's actually go back to that for a minute after this, but do you look at other disciplines because we know that, for example, Taekwondo and stuff, they have great tools in terms of spinning kicks and stuff like that. Do you look at those martial arts as a way to improve on those techniques or just Muay Thai?
Just Muay Thai, just MMA. That's because I'm not the best at throwing spinning back kicks, and it's something that I don't want to keep throwing too much.
Okay.
Because once people analyze, you're gonna have a bad time.
Right. Okay.
But I feel just comfortable sticking to the basics.
Oh, I see. I see.
Because you can be a world champion just by following a simple basic combo.
Yeah.
So that's how I think about it. But if I see an opportunity, I will take it. If I see that he's gonna be open for that spinning back kick, I'm gonna throw it.
Right. I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, let's go back to King in the Ring. You fought Nicaragua in the final. It was a fucking great fight. Next thing I know from you is that you now going to his gym, which is City Kickboxing, which is probably literally the best gym in the world right now. How did that happen?
I wasn't having a good time in Hamilton. I was at my lowest because that's when I was I was working a job with start early, late finish. I'll go to training. That's when I had a girlfriend at the time, and but I didn't. That's when I wasn't living with my mom. So
okay, so you're living by yourself. How old are you, by the way?
Right now I'm 20.
Pretty young.
Yeah, I'm pretty young.
Damn. Okay, so so you decided to move to Auckland.
Yeah, I decided to move to Auckland. I did not like Hamilton. It wasn't for me. I thought but the way I left was pretty sad because some of my homies at the gym, they didn't really like it. It was like sad for me. But
yeah, I was gonna ask you about that because that's not something people take lightly, especially in gyms, right?
Yeah.
Like to move from a gym to another for whatever reason. I don't understand it because I'm not in the fight game. But
yeah.
what was that like?
I mean, the way I left, I didn't leave in a proper manner. I just left just like that, you know. I said bye to some people, but I didn't say bye to the people that, you know, needed to hear why. But at the same time, I didn't tell them the reason, like the actual reason why I left, you know.
What was the reason why you left exactly?
I don't know. It was just some really like just messed up stuff going on in my life. I was like really
Personal stuff, nothing to do with the gym.
stuff. Yeah, nothing to do with the gym. So that's why I just wanted to leave. I wanted to leave Hamilton. Like if I felt like if I was there, like damn, probably wouldn't even be here right now. That's why I had to leave.
Was it a very toxic place, or if you don't want to talk about it, it's fine. But like,
it's all good. It was pretty toxic, and I just felt like there was nothing there for me. Like, and the gym was there for me, you know. If I was there, I would still be going really good, you know. But like, just the place, my mind didn't like it. I just was like, I can't. I need to go. So
was there any part of you though that was thinking, fuck, if I go to this gym, I'm gonna be with killers. I'm not gonna get better too.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be with killers in that, but at the same time, I knew it wasn't gonna be easy because you know the money side of things. Or you know, Auckland isn't.
True.
Auckland isn't the cheapest place, you know. But I knew once I get used to the gym, you know, I'll be fully, you know, locked and loaded and fully like straightforward to one thing only is being the best, you know. Knowing that I'm, you know, training with UFC champions, you know, training MMA every morning, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did you execute that? So where were you working? Like, what was your basis of income at that point to make this decision, and how do you make it work?
I was just doing some things, you know. What's it called? I jumped on the benefit for a while. And then I was just doing some side hustles, you know, doing some personal training with some of my friends that I knew.
Okay.
And I was just getting by, and I was mostly, you know, at the start when I went up, I was staying at the gym. You know, the rent was pretty cheap, so it was pretty easy to get by, you know. And then, what's it called? And then I moved into with one of my friends. You know, he helped me out. You know, he showed me around. You know, because I was still new to Auckland. I didn't, you know anywhere in Auckland.
Yeah.
So I was just stuck to Google Maps like every day. But yeah, so I mostly just just try it on my mom. Like every time like I'll be really like stuck, I have nothing, I'll be like, oh mom, you know, is it okay if I can have like, you know, 10, 20 bucks, you know, just for this? And she'll be like, okay, yep. Cool.
So your mom was here in Auckland?
No, Hamilton. She lives in Hamilton.
She still lives in Hamilton?
She still lives in Hamilton.
Oh damn.
Yeah,
okay.
So it's pretty hard, but yeah, she always helped me out.
I see.
Always helps me out, yeah.
So you made it work. What is that like, dude? Like, because I know for some of the fighters I know, it's not fucking easy, dude. Like, if you want to make it into fight game, it's a fucking ruling, you know, thing. And that's why so much respect for people that go through that journey and make it, you know. What is your life right now like? Do you have a part-time? Like, do you have sponsors? What does that work like?
Yeah.
Because you also, by the way, you also hold 2 belts in some sort of organization. 4 belts.
Yeah.
Fuck. What belts do you hold? And was there any, because for people listening to this, like, okay, fuck, you go 4 belts. Like, do you get any money from those fights? What does that work? Like, how does that work?
How does it work? I mean, there's like amateur belts, you know, amateur fights. And amateur fights, you don't get paid.
You don't get paid at all.
You don't get paid at all. You only get paid from pro fights. You get paid for pro fights. I have one.
So let's say the King in the Ring fight. Was that a pro fight?
Yeah, that was a pro fight.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. That was a pro fight, yeah. What's it called? Well, for the King of the Ring, I think you get paid like, if you get a knockout or something, you get paid.
So you get like
money.
a bonus.
You get a bonus if you knock someone
I see.
out. That's how I think it was, yeah. Because I got given a bonus that night for knocking someone out. So
nice.
Yeah.
And is that like you don't have to say numbers, but like is that a good amount of money so that you can get by for a while, or nah? Nah.
That's why I'm switching to MMA, but that wasn't a good amount of money.
I see.
Yeah, that's why being a fighter is really hard, especially if you're like up in the big leagues, because like the pro leagues or like where I'm at now, like it's hard to get by because, you know, you either have to work a full-time job, you have to miss trainings, which is really vital, you know, because you don't want to miss those important trainings. And, you know, especially if you're training 2-3 times a day, you know.
Yeah.
So it just gets in the way of things. So being a fighter is like really hard. It's not even just fighting and training. It's just like fuck, how am I going to survive, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like walk me through like what you take this fight for Art of War. Like you're getting paid for that?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I should be. Yeah, I am getting paid for that as a pro fight, yeah.
Okay, so pro fight, you're getting paid for that. Like, what's your plan eventually? Like, to jump into what promotion? What's sort of your vision down the line?
Well, I've big goals and I have baby steps. Right now, my baby steps is to fight in Shokin series. So after this fight, I just want to, keep training my MMA because right now I'm only just doing.
Have you ever done an MMA fight?
Never.
Never done an MMA
Never.
fight. Okay, I see.
Yeah, so that's why I'm been doing MMA a lot now because if I get put into an MMA fight, I'll get a hiding because I'll be fighting like pros or just people that have have a lot of experience with it. So I'm just doing it for. I've been doing it for like a long time now because I've been at CKB for just a year now.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a So after this fight, it would just be straight MMA, and Eugene's hoping to give me a fight by the end of the year,
MMA fight.
Yeah, because after this fight, or if no one else wants to fight, just straight MMA, and just no more Muay Thai, unless there's opportunity for Muay Thai, good opportunity.
Okay.
But yeah, just straight MMA.
Nice. And I'm guessing you're sharpening your jiu-jitsu, your wrestling. What are you focusing more on?
What's it called? At the start, I was working on jiu-jitsu heaps, but then I started gravitating to wrestling more.
Yeah.
Because wrestling's fun as.
Yeah, wrestling is good, man.
It's actually fun, fuck, there's a lot of conditioning.
It builds your gas tank. That's what I was going to say.
Tank, yeah, it built my gas tank. It changed a lot of things with me, especially my back muscles and my arms.
Yeah.
You get used to it. It's so fun though. There's so much things in MMA that it's just crazy. It's crazy. I find it so fascinating, but yeah.
Like what? What? Break that down for us.
Break that down. What's it called? Because Muay Thai, you're stand up, aggressive in that. With MMA, you gotta be careful with going in too, because they can just get you on the ground, and submit you. You get too close, you're gonna get hit. You got small gloves, so you gotta watch out for a lot of things. You gotta change your stance. You can't be just too close up, and especially when you throw knees. Muay Thai, you throw knees. They see you for an MMA, they'll be like, oh, okay, thank you, and then take you down,
Yeah.
So you just got to be cautious about a lot of things in MMA.
And your jiu-jitsu, what is that like?
So my jiu-jitsu is all right. It's not the best, still learning. But what's it called? I'm not really good at submitting right now. I know just a few submissions, got them locked and loaded on my head, but I'm just practicing how to escape it. I'm really good at escaping, submissions, or just getting out of into random turtle, getting out of the Reconnecting choke, whatever you call it. So yeah, I'm just
so at the moment your plan is sort of I need to learn how to fucking survive.
Yeah. That's about just get out of certain situations.
Okay, I see. But not actually attack sort of thing. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a particular reason? You want to focus your skill set instead of being broader, rather focus on just stand up and then survive on the ground sort of thing. Kind of Easy, right? Easy is a fucking specialist in the feet.
Yeah.
He can survive in the ground.
Yeah.
But it's not his forte. Is that sort of your plan as well?
Nah. I want to be really good at jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
I want to be really good. I want to be good at everything in MMA because
who's a fighter that you look up to and you go, I want to be like this motherfucker right here?
His name is Chingov. He's a kickboxer.
Okay.
He's he's fuck. He's got the best technique, best style. I love it. He's someone I idolize a lot, but I'd say in MMA would be Mighty Mouse.
Oh, Mighty Mouse.
Mighty
Mouse is a motherfucker.
He's a man.
He is a man, bro. Holy shit, he's the man. Yeah. Even when he left UFC and everybody sort of stopped watching him, but if you watch his stuff on one, I watched a fight, when he did with Rotan, we did see that? They did one round Thai rules and then the other round was MMA and stuff. Holy shit, what a great fight that was.
You see the difference though, eh?
Huge difference.
Yeah.
He just needed to survive the Muay Thai rounds though. He knew he was fucking good enough in the feet to survive that Muay Thai round and then it was all over. He was Mighty Mouse is just a fucking animal.
He's smart. He's a good technician. He's really onto it.
Yeah. So is that somebody you look up to? You're on the same. I don't remember what his Mighty Mouse's weight is.
I think we're in the same weight.
Around the same weight.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Dude, you're coming up to this new fight. You said that you wanna, after this, move on to MMA.
Yeah.
What do you think? If you were to envision your first opponent, what do you think that fight is gonna go like?
I feel like a lot of people know me in the Muay Thai scene, so I feel like they'll be like, oh, okay, he's still new to MMA. I want to take him on the ground.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. So, are you? do you want your first MMA fight to be with somebody who's like, because usually what would happen is if you want to see an interesting fight, you set up somebody, you know, who's probably going to be a hard fucking time for you. So you're probably going to put you against a wrestler or somebody who's really good in the ground. The way I'm seeing it goes, right, if I was you, you're fucking great in the feet. If you go 100% on the ground, like just sharpening those skills, is that something that you want to do? Or is it like, do you want to actually, no, I want to continue to refine my striking even for this?
I mean, we still do groundwork, but we still do stand-up. So we try to refine everything, you know, as we can at the same time. I mean, I would want a hard opponent. I want an opponent to put me on the ground, you know. I want to know what it feels like to be in that survival state, like, oh, okay, shit, how do I get out of this? How am I going to get back up, you know?
Right.
Because, like, you know, the only way you learn is if you take that, you know, that hard fight, you know? Because, you know, fighting is not easy, you know? You don't want to get a, you know, easy fight because, you know, because you need to test your skills, you know? So I feel like if I get pulled with, like, someone that's, like, more experienced than me and I can, like, put my skills and what I've trained at training in my gym, then I can see where I'm sort of at in the pillar, the level I'm in, so I can just go on from there, you know. But I know for a fact that I'll be ready for my first MMA fight because, you know, got good coaches with me, good training partners with me, so I reckon I'll do pretty good.
Do you spar MMA or do you spar just Muay Thai?
Oh, we spar on Saturdays. Fridays we do spiders, but on Saturdays we spar kickboxing and then MMA.
Okay,
so both. Yeah, so I end up doing both.
Okay. Yeah, is there any big names that you're sparring with?
Yeah, I've been sparring, you know, Nikora. I've been sparring with you know, Kai, especially what's it called, Tozumopto.
Okay.
He's that guy. That guy's he's a bully. I remember when I first sparred him. It was like in MMA. He like got me to the ground, and then like I was just there like trying to get up, and then he just went like for a straight to my body, and like all my air just went out. Like like he gave me a hiding.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this shit's for real. But yeah,
yeah, because I've seen I don't know if you watched this, but there's a show on TVNZ called Relentless or something.
Oh, Relentless,
yeah. Which is from your gym, pretty much. Like Eugene has a bunch of different guys, and you know he's training them and whatever. And I remember when I watched that, one of the, you know, they get like fighters from different places, right? And one of the things that the guys were saying is like, holy shit, once you come into this gym, you realize you're sparring with Dan Hooker. He puts you into oblivion. Like he just gives you such a hard time. You realize, oh shit, there's levels to this. Did you experience that when you go into this gym?
I haven't sparred Dan Hooker yet.
No, but what I'm saying is like, did you when you go into this gym, when you now fucking surrounded by killers, did you realize, oh shit, there is levels to this, and holy shit, these guys are good?
Oh yeah, 100%. I got there and I got humbled. Like I got humbled.
That's what they said as well. It's like, holy shit, you get humbled really quick.
I got humbled so fast because in my last gym, like you know, I'll be doing really good against the other guys. You know, I wouldn't really get that much of a big hiding. You know. But I'll come here and like just blood noses. I'll get like, like bro, like there's one point I went home and I was just like, damn, like I need to get better, you know?
Yeah.
It kind of motivated me because
it's good, because it motivates you.
Motivated me heaps. So yeah, I wanted to be the best because, you know, especially, you know, Tozumopto. I idolize him a lot too because, you know, I remember this one time he gave me a pep talk because, you know, I was feeling down because I'm like, fuck, like I'm not like as good as I want to be, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, it comes with patience and, you know, training hard. So yeah, I just know that, you know, being humbled every day, I come and see and I train with these guys. Like, I know it's going to make me a really good fighter. You know, because that happens to all the fighters, you know. You always got to start from scratch. You always got to start somewhere, you know. You're always going to get humbled, you know. Yeah. So that's what makes you a better fighter, you know.
Yeah. Dude, let me ask you this because before I was going to ask you about this and I forgot. You mentioned that you were bullied at school.
Yeah.
And you were the angry kid.
Yeah.
Right? I've seen how respectful you are in the ring. Like you're a very humble, very respectful guy, which I really like. That was really, really good. Like it's one of those things that I always respect and like about martial arts. Because of what you said, right? People from the outside looking in, they go, oh fuck, these guys are barbaric assholes, right? But then once you start doing martial arts, you realize because it's such a humbling experience, did martial arts, when you go into martial arts, did that shape your personality a lot from that angry kid? Did you see an impact in terms of your own self as well?
It made me great. It just made me grateful.
Okay.
Having life and just being able to meet new people and train every day. Because when I was an angry kid, I ended up turning into a bully because of stuff that I learned around me.
Right. Okay.
So getting into that gym actually helped me a lot because, I was going down a bad path, especially hanging out with wrong people at school.
Yeah.
I didn't finish school. I ended up getting kicked out of school, So from then on, when I was taking fighting more seriously, it shaped me into a more humble person,
Yeah.
Because I still get people up to this day to come up to me and be like, oh, I thought you were like different. I thought you were like really like rude and mean and that. But like, nah, like fighting has taught me how to have manners, how to be really nice. Especially my mom, she always tells me every day, don't let the fighting get to you. No matter if you're a world champion, you're the best at this and that, always be humble no matter what, At the end of the day, you're still flesh and blood like everyone else, So yeah, definitely fighting has been a big impact on, making me more down to earth and more happy for what I have in life. Yeah.
That's awesome. Are you still the angry kid, or did you just channel that into your fight?
Yeah, I channel that into my fight. Yeah.
Because you seem pretty chill. Like you seem like a real chill guy to be an angry kid. And when I saw you fighting, I was like, oh, I love that because he's very humble. He's very respectful, which is something that when people make into big leagues, that shit sometimes goes out the door.
Yeah.
So I'm fucking glad that's happened to you as well. I tell people, man, like many of my friends, we know that in general, Colombians are not very into martial arts for the most part.
Yeah.
So I really love martial arts. So like every Sunday I'm here watching fights. So when my friends come over, they're like, this is so barbaric. Yeah. And why do you watch this? This is so crazy. But then I always tell them that I'm like, dude, you realize how humbling it is to do it. And the respect for these fighters is crazy. Like it's one of my favorite sports. I'm a big football guy, I say I'm Colombian.
Yeah.
But MMA probably right now out there in terms of how much I watch because it's the most exciting sport I think it is right now.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Football games are exciting, okay?
Yeah.
But dude, I don't scream and sweat as much as when I'm watching a fight. Like it's just ridiculously exciting to watch a fight. Yeah, dude. Let me talk to you about. You mentioned your mom also fights.
Yeah.
Which is quite cool, isn't it? Like, because I was gonna ask you, like, what was the reaction of your family, because of you becoming a fighter? I mean, we are from a very traditional culture, right? I'm a designer, and for example, when I was fucking anxious to tell my mom that I was gonna be a designer. Because just like many cultures, like Asian or Indian, whatever, you gotta be a doctor, an engineer, a lawyer, one of those fucking things. Otherwise, you're a fucking loser, right?
Yeah, 100.
So when I told my mom, I was like, I'm gonna tell my mom that I'm gonna be a designer, and I'm also a musician. Fucking worst combination ever. But my mom took it really well, and for you, like your mom has always supported you in this journey, which is fucking awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, it's awesome as well.
Is that she had that background in fighting? Why do you think your mom is into, it's quite an unusual thing to be into for a Colombian woman? What do you think it is that your mom has that,
I mean, my mom growing up, she always tells me stories and that, and some of my family members will tell me stories. But what's it called? She had a really, really, really hard upbringing. It was like just crazy the stuff that she's told me. But she's always gotten into fights. Growing up, like how I did in primary and intermediate in high school. So she was, she's always had street fights and that. She was always like a
really.
Yeah, she was always like a what's it called? Like mess with me, then you're done. I'm gonna mess with you. She's always like that.
Yeah.
She's real strong. Real a Latina.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
she's a Latina. What's it called? But she loves fighting as well. She always watches it. She's really aggressive, like me. So when I started, she started doing it as well. So she wanted to support me by training with me, So that's pretty much how it started, Just her helping me out.
So she's been supportive of you since the beginning and all the way down. That's awesome, dude. That's such a good thing to have your family behind you. What about the rest of your family? Because we talked about your mom and you came here from Colombia and blah, blah, blah. But what about the rest of your family? Is just your mom here in New Zealand?
Yeah, just me and my mom. Yeah,
wow, okay. And when you go back home, what's that reconnection? Because we as Latinos, right? Latinos, Colombian, Mexicans, whoever you are, big on family. Like family is a huge thing for us. What was that reconnection with family back home?
It feels good. You know, it felt really good, you know, just knowing, you know, I still have a family, you know. But at the same time, for me, I felt like, oh, like, I don't know these people. Like,
That's what I was going to ask you about because, dude, even for me, I came here. I mean, you were 4 years old. You probably don't have no idea what Colombia was like. But for me, it's a weird thing because I came here at 16.
Oh, okay.
But now I've been in New Zealand longer than I was in Colombia. Yet, I still have an accent.
How long have you been in New Zealand for?
18 years.
Oh, shit.
So, it's weird because in a way I'm Kiwi, but I'm not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean.
It's like a weird ass thing. So when I go over there, I feel like a stranger. And when I'm here, I'm also a stranger because I'm not a Kiwi.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's really weird situation. Did you ever feel like, holy, when you were there, did you ever feel like, what the fuck is this? I don't belong here.
Oh, when I went there?
Yeah.
No, when I went there, I was just like, oh shit, this is home. Like I loved it.
Oh really? Do you feel a connection right away?
Yeah, I felt a connection right away. I was like, okay, this is who I am. You know, I like this. You know, because I could vision myself being a person who I would be if I didn't go to New Zealand. I could see myself being here. You know,
I see.
It wasn't a good vision, but like it was. I was like, oh damn, you know, I loved it. You know, this is who I am. I'm gonna take it all in. You know, because you never know, I might not be able to go back again. You know.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, it was a pretty good experience.
What are those things like from New Zealand? Growing up here, you mentioned that, you know, you were bullied and stuff at school. But what was that like growing up here did you speak Spanish in the house?
Spanglish.
Spanglish.
Yeah, Spanglish.
Yeah. But your Spanish is all right?
My Spanish is all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Growing up here, like, what was that like? Especially in Hamilton, bro. Like, not many Latinos out there in your school. You're just there by yourself.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I mean, it was all good. Pretty hard to fit in, but I would say, like, you know, besides the bullying, like, it was freaking amazing. I loved it.
Yeah.
I just loved being in, you know, just growing up and seeing different things and just learning a new language, you know. Because, you know, as you grow up, I realized I was like, damn, I actually have it, you know, good here. Learning all these new things, you know, more opportunities, you know, especially for, like, because the only reason why I'm here is because my mom wanted a better future for me, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like, same time it's like cool because, like, you know, like you said, you know, like, I feel like a Kiwi, but I'm Colombian, you know? But I feel like I'm more Kiwi, but sometimes I feel like I'm more Colombian, you know? But, you know, being in New Zealand and Hamilton, it was fucking the best times I had growing up, you know? So, yeah.
Nice. And when you went to Colombia and reconnected with, you talk about Juan, like, you know, a kid from there who probably grew up there. Like, what was that experience like? Because I feel that would probably be quite an experience to see a Colombian, you know, we are very different. Like, I can only imagine the way that, you know, we grew up over there, our customs, the way that we communicate, everything. A young kid. How old was he?
How old is he?
How old is he? Yeah.
I think he was like 19. No, 18. 18. Yeah, I think he was 18.
Yeah, 18 years old. So I'm guessing, dude, 18-year-old boy in Colombia. Because I remember when I came here, I was 16, right? And I went to high school here in New Zealand, Onehunga High.
Yeah. Oh.
And I remember going to high school here and going, holy shit, we do so much crazy shit in Colombia, bro. Like, you know, the partying over there, the culture in general is, you know, is pretty happy. And bro, you're thinking about woman since you're fucking 11 or something. And it's just crazy, right?
Yeah.
And you come out here and you go, oh shit, okay, here is it very, very, very different.
Yeah.
What was that like going out there and seeing these? Were you just speaking in Spanish or?
I was trying to speak Spanish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was trying to because what's it called? People noticed me that like looked at me and they're like, oh yeah, he's definitely gringo. I was
really?
like, oh, fuck. Like, how do you know? It's just like, oh, I can just tell. But I was speaking good Spanish. But they could just tell from the way I looked and the way I moved. But what's it called? I ended up going to a nightclub there. Bro, it was the craziest experience of my life.
Oh, really?
They were way crazier.
That's what I mean, bro. It's like things over there are next level. What was like? What was the takeaway from that?
The what? Sorry.
Like what was crazy about it?
Crazy about it.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is like how they dance reggaeton, that sexual dance, bro. That was I looked at that and I was like, okay, what the fuck? Like this is crazy. Like people were like.
Did you go to Colombian parties here at all or nah?
Nah, I don't.
Oh,
I don't really talk to Colombians that much.
Oh, really? Oh shit! So
I only am now.
Oh wow! So that would be a crazy Yeah, that would be a crazy experience going out there just without ever experiencing anything like it.
Yeah, that's a crazy experience because you come here and you see people at clubs and they're just emoting, just just doing weird ass little dances.
Yeah. Next level over there, isn't it?
Yes, it's next level.
Awesome. Yeah, dude. I mean, I can only imagine what it would be like to go over there. I have family here in New Zealand, and I have a 7-year-old niece, for example, and of course she's grown up here. She went to Colombia last year, and just seeing her reactions to things, that she picks up on things that we don't realize, and we just realize how different we are. But it's such a fucking awesome culture, and I'm happy that you are embracing that side of your culture and representing us as well in the big stage, putting the Colombian flag out, wearing your sombrero and that. That's fucking awesome, dude. Like, I love that. When I saw that, I was like, holy shit, this is cool. And I always it's natural for us. I don't know for you, but for me, every time I see a Colombian, especially, 100% behind them. Like, I want to see Colombians in the UFC.
No, 100%, yeah.
Yeah, Sabrina Masso was there for a while. Then Chavez was there. Not that many of us, but every time, even if there's no Colombians, you backed up your Latino.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Mexicans, and of course New Zealanders now that we're here.
Yeah.
So keep representing the flag, bro, and I think you're gonna get really far. You have fucking tons of heart, great technique, and of course you prepare yourself for wars. And I think you have the mentality. You're ready for it. I'm pretty sure you're gonna get really far.
Yeah, hopefully, if God lets me, then yeah. Yeah,
fuck yeah, bro. I think you're gonna get really far.
I'm actually what's it called? I'm trying to get out there for the Colombian community more, especially in Hamilton. What's it called? I'm trying to reconnect with the Colombian community, especially the little kids. Because I want to be not only an influence to the New Zealand scene, but the Colombian scene. Because there's so many of us, but I feel like the Colombian community is not like strong as the other communities. But what's it called? I'm gonna be. I think it was like on the 6th of August. I'm flying down to Wellington to do a speech and just talking about it's my life, what's it called? How my journey, Colombians, stuff like that. I'm just gonna be doing a speech in front of like heaps of people, because I'm also gonna be doing other things that I'll be discussing later, probably on my story. But it's mostly just pushing the the new generation of Colombian kids to do what they want to do in life. If you want to be that soccer player, that fighter, or or maybe a rugby player, just giving them like influence. So yeah. You can do anything you want, especially if you're in another country.
That's awesome, dude. That's fucking awesome. I'm glad you're doing that. Yeah, we need more of that, dude. And we need more people like yourself to, again, embrace your actual roots, where you come from. It doesn't, like, you grew up here. I'm pretty sure you love New Zealand, just like the way I do. But you're always thinking about, where you actually come from. And, how there's so many of us here now in New Zealand, bro. There's so many Colombians out here now.
Yeah.
Because again, I mean, these type of conversations, bro, you are a Colombian, I'm a Colombian, we grow up here, we're doing our own shit, we're pushing the boundaries, we're trying to just be great at whatever it is that we do. I think that's a great example for a lot of people. And again, this is a platform. That's why I wanted to have you here. By the way, rocking the Colombian shirt because of it. Because this is a platform for great leaders, for great thinkers, great creatives, athletes like yourself, who just want to become great. And if I can provide a platform to showcase you, then fucking I'm super happy about it.
I appreciate it, bro. That's sick.
Yeah.
I love that. I love to hear that, because that's just amazing.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, so anytime you're welcome back here, dude.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm fucking looking forward to your fight against Dominic. We didn't talk about your last fight, but somebody pulled out. You got a huge fucking cut in your eye.
Oh my, bro, yeah.
Yeah, how was that like?
Man, that was the shittest fight in camp I've ever had in my life. Like, everything just wasn't there because short notice.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really care because I just wanted to fight. I just wanted to feel being in that ring again, because I haven't fought for a year before that fight. But that was just a shit thing. Like, they messed up my my fight record. They didn't put my song down. The switch, and then what's it called? So I thought I wasn't gonna get a fighter. So I ate a bunch of shit food, and I was like full. And I remember when I was gonna fight, I needed to take a shit, but then I couldn't because you had to fight. And then they changed the rules when I got into the ring.
They changed the rules.
Yeah, they changed the rules because the guy was like 2-hour notice. So especially with elbows, so it's pretty reasonable. But I was just like, okay, like I was just focused on full Thai rules. Then they changed the rules, and I was like, oh shit, and I just didn't want to be in there anymore. But then when I got switched on, I fought, did something stupid. I leaned in with my jab, my head down, and then got hit with
a knee, right?
Right here with a knee. And I couldn't even see with that. Lucky I didn't get knocked out. Like I just felt like, oh, my whole life just like shut down.
Yeah. Is there ever a fear out there? You've never been knocked out, right?
Nah, never. I've been TKO'd.
Is there ever? Does that ever go through your mind? Like, fuck, I don't want to get KO'd out, or is just whenever you're in that ring, you just fucking don't even think about it?
I don't think about it. I get hit hard. I'm just like, okay, if he hits me with that clean, I'm gonna get knocked out. But what's it called? I'm prepared for it, because you never know. Anything can happen in a fight, Anything can happen. You could be the best fighter and still get knocked out, So you gotta be mentally prepared.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, last thing I wanted to ask you, because we talked about fighting this whole thing.
Yeah.
What else do you like doing, dude?
what
what are you into? Like, do you enjoy what? Music? What are plans do you have? Tell us all about yourself as a person.
I'm big on gaming. I love gaming. I love playing the game. It's like my go-to.
Oh yeah,
especially after training.
What do you play?
I play this new game called Sea of Thieves, Call of Duty, Rocket League. I don't play Fortnite anymore. That's just died down pretty fast. But
yeah, what Call of Duty do you play? Are you pretty good?
Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty good. I don't play much now, but I play Cold War for a lot.
Oh yeah, I was playing Cold War yesterday.
Hey,
I'm so shed now, dude. Yeah,
we should play sometime. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right, you should get Sea of Thieves. Have you heard that game?
No.
Bro, it's
sick.
It's like I'll message you more about it. It's sick as.
Ah, nice.
So cool. Also, I make music with me and my homies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, actually, I don't know. I enjoy it. Being creative and saying stuff and saying on the mic. I just find it really fascinating. Yeah. So whenever I'm bored, I'm just like, hey, like, bro, do you want to make some music? And he's like, okay, let's go make some music. So it's
what type of music do you make?
Just rap.
Rap, hip hop.
Yeah, rap, hip hop. We just do it for fun.
Okay.
We don't take it serious because we just like listening to it and just start laughing.
Ah, yeah.
Just make some funny memories,
Nice.
Some of my friends take it seriously though. One of my mates, Murdo Cow, he's got like 9 million, 8 million listens on one song. Like he's pretty up there. He's one of my close mates.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he influenced me to start doing it as a hobby. So yeah.
Do you rap it in what, English, Spanglish, what?
English.
Ah,
English.
Okay.
And sometimes in Spanish, but I tried it in Spanish and I was like, okay, now I have to delete this. Yeah, no one can hear that.
Right. Yeah. The last episode of the podcast, I did it with this rapper, Swiesel Jäger, and we put a beat on. I was like, bro, you want to do a jam? I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Put a beat on. He spit some bars. I spit some bars in Spanish.
Oh shit.
That fucking video went really well, bro. Like people loved it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. Okay. So I love that you're doing that, dude. That creativity comes from all places. Right?
Yeah.
And that's where I see it also on the ring, right? Just being creative is such a good thing for your mind. And if you love video games, well, into video games, so we can exchange gamer tags and we can play each other. Yeah. Awesome, bro. Hey, anything you want to say before we wrap up?
Yeah, to everyone seeing this, I changed my name. I used to be El Machete, but now it's El Guerrero because my last name, my dad's side of my family, what's it called? It's Guerrero. So yeah, so Guerrero in English means warrior. So my name is El Guerrero Tellez.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. That's much better. Alejandro El Guerrero Tellez.
Alejandro El Guerrero Tellez. Yeah,
nice.
That's a sick name. Makes sense,
Yeah.
But also what's it called? One thing, you're gonna fail a lot in life. It's what I feel like. Cause like my journey of fighting hasn't been easy. Especially on the money side of things. You're gonna fail, but it matters like how hard you can take a hit. If you can stand up, it's all good. But I always thought of it as like, if you're gonna fall, don't fall backwards. You gotta fall forwards. But no matter how hard it gets, no matter how sad you get, you have to keep going. You can't take the easy way out. You can't stop. You have to keep going. Because one of my friends, as I mentioned in the podcast, his name was Juan. He was, one of my homies. I love that guy. We blood, sweat, and tears together. He actually killed himself.
Oh shit!
He actually killed himself.
Sorry for that, mate.
Nah, that's right. Stuff happens, but because some people don't have it well, but him, he didn't realize how much potential he had. And I know, and some people, they don't realize how much potential they have.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping if, you know, when people see this, like, you got potential, you just gotta like find it within yourself to get up and, you know, use it and find it, or create the person you want to be for the future, you know. But that's just about it. Just don't give up. Just keep going. It's easy as it sounds, but you gotta do it. You have to do it. Yeah,
bro. What a way to finish. Fucking love it. Keep fucking getting out there. Grind it every day. You're gonna fall down, like you say. But the best thing about it is you can learn every time. Growth mindset. Every time you fail is an opportunity to get better.
exactly.
And if you see life like that, you're just gonna enjoy a lot more.
100.
And you're gonna think that you're worthy. And if you know, dude, with things like this project that I started, you doubt yourself all the time.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck are gonna listen to me? People are gonna criticize me for it. The reality is, you just gotta try it, put it out there, put yourself out there, and fail time and time again. And I'm gonna make mistakes, and it doesn't fucking matter because I'm gonna get better and better and better and better. And the message that I'm trying to put out is positive, and I just don't care about negativity. So yeah, fuck, I love that message, man.
Yeah,
Awesome way to finish up. For everybody who listened to this, thank you very much. Go and follow this dude right here. And like I mentioned before, this podcast is probably gonna come out before you fight. So go and see Alejandro in fight Out of War 23, 12th of July. Get your tickets at theoutofwar.co.nz. I'm pretty sure you're gonna win it, dude. Go out there and represent the flag. And regardless of what happens, win or lose, always supporting you. For everybody who listens to this again, thank you very much. Remember to drink water and exercise, and peace.
Welcome to the next level.